I am a firm believer of the idea that vulnerability leads to vulnerability. There is something immensely powerful about having shared experiences. It leads to a sense of understanding, which can open up spaces in the head and heart and allow for meaningful points of connection. A few years back, a viral movement happened with two simple words: Me Too. While there were a variety of responses and reactions which rose to the surface in the midst of that movement, the truth is there is something intrinsically powerful about being able to say, I get it, I see it, I have been there because I too have felt and experienced the same thing. I believe this point of connection is not for commiseration's sake alone, rather the ability to truly know what it is like to stand in the same emotion, frustration, discovery, hope, and healing matters. I also think it is important to do that well. We're able to use parts of our story to be there for others in theirs when we see their search for answers be something that we have already discovered. In order to do so, I have learned that it is important to find points of connection, reveal the struggle, show a path, and speak hope. Find points of connection. To begin, you will look for moments of relatability. This does not mean that you are or have lived the same story. Do not make their story your story. And it is important to not overemphasize that you know exactly where they are. Instead, ask if you can share some of how you have felt when you've been in similar places. In the times when I have revealed my own story because I believe it serves theirs, I have found it incredibly helpful for me to pause my own story and ask questions which allow them to then relate back to me. You see, it can be easy for someone to tune us out if they think that we are using them for personal catharsis or we are simply droning on. To prevent this, I like to break up my story by saying things like, it made me feel like this. Do you ever feel like that? Or I find I start to think things like this in those times. Do you ever think something similar? This gives them the ability to come back into my story and we can connect on thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Again, this is not for me to feel heard or understood. Instead, it allows them to have a sense of being seen and understood as if someone else has been where they are. They are able to process alongside of me instead of just listen, which is my goal. Reveal the struggle. Sometimes we just need to know that it sucks. Every once in a while, we just need to know that talking about something isn't about finding a solution. Instead, it is okay to fully recognize and emote about the parts which are dark or hard. I think at times we are adverse to this step because we fear getting stuck in it. And yet, I find these moments or seasons are often shorter than we might imagine if we simply allow them their full force instead of avoiding them. I say all of this with great caution, as I am not advocating for diving into dark or hopeless spaces. When those types of emotions or seasons happen, it is often time for professional level care or support. Instead, I'm talking about being honest about pain, trauma, poor life choices, or wounds. Often by walking alongside someone else in their struggle, we need to allow that type of space to give them the ability to surface these deep struggles. At times, revealing the fact that we have been inside of our own seasons which were dark or challenging gives someone else permission to do the same. I would always add two brief words of caution during this phase. The first is to make sure that you are not triggering someone by discussing areas which could place them in a negative mindset. The second is to only reveal those areas of your life as a tool to help someone else once you know those areas of your life are healed and fully processed on your own. It is important to me that it is always safe for you to have those conversations as well as using them to help others. If you have made sure that those two safety checks are in place and you reveal the struggle, that step will ensure that you're able to provide clarity and direction for our next two steps. Show a path. The goal is never to sit in the struggle with the purpose of remaining there. Instead, it is a necessary moment to acknowledge and validate a sense of deeper understanding. In essence, it is a "you are here" spot on the map, which gives you definition to then reveal a pathway. Your own story of seeking wholeness gives you the ability to show what it is like for you to let your life and identity be defined by something other than brokenness. Because you have been in the struggle, and also in the healing. You are able to highlight markers along the path of wholeness. This does not mean that your two paths are going to be identical. Even if your circumstances are similar, there will still be personal thoughts and emotions which are individualized. This is completely okay. The goal is not to walk identical paths. Rather, you are able to show small points of action that you took, pieces of wisdom that you were given, and the points of confidence that you found for yourself. This will lend courage and provide wisdom for them as they continue their journey. Speak hope. Lastly, I hope you are able to speak hope. Action steps are good, but the inspiration and encouragement to continue to act on them is crucial. The more you are able to speak hope into another's story, especially when it is from a place of high relatability, you are able to cast light in a previously dark space. This is highly valuable and a tremendous gift to offer.